Following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text number 2, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on May 26, 1974, in Rome, Italy.
Translation. Srila Suta Gosvami said, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that great sage Sukadeva Gosvami, who can enter into the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyasa, leaving aside home without undergoing the sacred thread ceremony, his father Vyasadeva cried out to him, 'O my son!' Indeed, only the trees echoed in response to the begrieved father."
Yam pravajantam means to leave home in renounced order of life. That is called pravajan. Therefore, a sannyasi is called parivrajagacharya. A sannyasi is supposed to be wandering without any shelter. That is called pravajya. So Sukadeva Gosvami, he remained 16 years within the home of his mother. He did not come out. He was hearing his father within the home. So this is called Paramahamsa. So Paramahamsa does not require any reformatory process, because they are already reformed. Jam pravajantam anupita. Ana means without. Upeta. Upeta means taking center of Guru, or being offered the sacred upanayam. The sacred ceremony is called upanayam. That means he did not go undergo the regulatory principles because he was within the womb. Without any sanskar, he was going immediately, getting back. Dvipana virahaka. The father certainly was expecting the son to remain at home. Every father expects. But he, Sukadeva Gosvami, immediately after his birth, he began to work. He was simply just waiting when I shall be fit to immediately go out of home, I shall take my birth. The father became very much afflicted on account of separation of the son. Therefore, Dvipayana means bad way. Virahaka becomes very much aggrieved that this son was 16 years within the womb, and as soon as he is born, he is going out. Virahaka, ajuhava, my dear son, where you are going? Where you are going? So, he did not care for anyone's calling. He went on. Putreti, my dear son, tanmayataya, being absorbed in the thought of putra. Taravo abhinedu tam. There was what is called echo from the trees. Just like he was asking, my dear son, where you are going, where you are going. And there was echo in the forest, where you are going, where you are going. The Tarava Abhinedu. So these are all adjectives of the Sukadeva Gosvami. So, tongue to that person who was just followed by his father, and he did not reply, but the trees replied my queen. So I am offering. Sukadeva Gosvami was the spiritual master of Suta Gosvami. Therefore, before speaking anything, this is the etiquette that one should offer his obeisances to the spiritual master. The institution of Varna and Ashrama prescribes many regulative duties to be observed by the foreigner. There are Dasavidha Sanskar, reformatory. How it is scientific just to bring the born child to the standard of civilization. The cats and dogs, they also beget children on the street. If human being also does like that, like cats and dogs, then how they can expect very intelligent children, advanced children? Therefore there is method how to beget children. So, before begetting children there is ceremony, Garbhadhan Sanskar. How to impregnate the wife, Garbhadhan. It is not sex enjoyment. Therefore in the Bhagavad Gita you find this word, Dharma aviruddhya kama aham asmi. What is that Bhagavad Gita? Find out, Dharma aviruddhya kama asmi. So there is 7th chapter.
Yes, 7th chapter.
In which Krishna said, sex life, which is not against the principles of dharma or the varnashrama principle, that is higher. Sex life also is Krishna. Have you got it? Yes. Read it.
Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma varudho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha.
Dharma viruddha.
Dharma varudho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha.
Read it.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharatas.
Yes. This sex life, Garbhadhan Sanskar, this is called Garbhadhan Sanskar, just to beget first class children, that kind of sex life, Krishna says, I am that sex life. This is Sanskar. So formally, at least those who are on the higher status of the society, namely the Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, they had to observe this Garbhadhan Sanskar. It is not a secret thing, because one is going to beget child, the child must be worth a human being. Therefore, there is some first of all the Garbhadhan Sanskar, then when the wife is pregnant, there are other sanskaras, then Upanayan Sanskar, Vivaha Sanskar, up to the point of death. From before birth and up to the point of death, there are sanskar. Asamaskrita kriyahina mlecha rajendra rupina. That is stated in the Srimad. Asamaskrita. The present government men, they did not go any sanskar. Formerly, the kings, the higher caste, never mind he is king or not, but higher caste. Therefore they claimed higher. not claim, actually they were. The Brahmana and the Kshatriyas especially, and also the Vaishyas, they went the sanskara, reformation. Just like sanskara means educational process to elevate one. It's like we send to school, college for elevating a child to the higher standard of life, knowledge. Similarly, these sanskaras are also like that. The one must undergo the sanskaras, the reformatory method, and act in life. If I have taken the sanskara of Brahmana, if I have accepted the sacred faith, then I must act as a Brahmana. It is very practical. It's like if you have passed your examination as an engineer, then you must act as an engineer. Not that simply you have got the qualification of engineer and now you are engaged in the business of a shopkeeper. No. You must act as an engineer. That is qualification. Similarly, Chaturvarnam Maya system guna karma vibhag. Krishna says that this division, the social division, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Sudra, is made by me according to quality and work. Not that simply work or simply work. You must have the quality and work, both. You must be bona fide candidate to work for something. If you want to work as a Brahmin, then you must possess all the bona fide qualities of the Brahmin. If you want to act as a Kshatriya, then you must have all the Kshatriya qualities and act. The Kshatriya means there especially the Juddhis of Palayana. The Kshatriya is never afraid of fight. Like that, if somebody challenges, I would fight with you, I want to fight with you, the Kshatriya will never deny. If somebody comes forward to a Kshatriya that I want to play chess or gamble, gambling was allowed to the Kshatriyas. It's by gambling all the Pandavas, they lost everything. The Kauravas, his brother, they made a trick to challenge because the Kshatriya cannot deny that we want to play games with you and betting. So they betted their kingdom, their wives, and their everything, then they were banished. There was a trick to make them humiliated in every respect. So Kshatriya, because a Kshatriya cannot refuse if any opposing party comes to a Kshatriya that I want to fight with you, a Kshatriya cannot deny. And this fighting would go up to the death till it is decided. One must die. Just like Jarasandha. Jarasandha and Krishna and Arjuna and Bhima. There was many times fight with Jarasandha and Krishna. But he brought many unlimited number of soldiers and they were killed. So this time Krishna wanted to kill only Jarasandha, not so many innocent soldiers. Therefore Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima went to Jarasandha and they went in the dress of Brahmana. So Jarasandha was very charitable to the Brahmanas. So when they had Brahmana, they wanted something. Yes, what you want? Then they said that we want to fight with. So Jarasandha could understand they are in disguise, they are Kshatriyas. So Jarasandha said, yes, accepted. Then who will fight with me? You are three. Then they challenge also anyone you can accept. The Jarasandha said that Krishna, he fled away. Krishna is unsure, sometimes he did that. The purpose was to save the innocent soldiers, and he would take another chance to kill Jarasandha. But he thought that he fled away. Anyway, so he said that Krishna is afraid of me, I cannot fight it, I reject it. And Arjuna is younger than me, so I cannot fight with, he is younger, inferior to me. But I can accept Bhima to fight with him. So there was fight with Bhima and Jarasandha. This is Bhaktiya spirit. He could not deny. They were guests, these three men, maybe Krishna, Arjuna, they were guests. So they would fight the whole day. Or say in the morning after taking their breakfast, they begin fight. And the fighting is gone. And at night they are guests. They are received very well. They dine together, talk together, friendly. This is Kshatriya spirit. And in this way for 27 or 28 days the fighting was going on. Later on Jarasandha was killed by the hint of Krishna. This is Kshatriya spirit. Similarly, Brahmana spirit, Guna Karma Vibhaga. So, Sukadeva Gosvami, he did not undergo any of these principles because he was Paramahamsa, above all these things. Therefore, Anupita. The institution of Varnashrama prescribes many regulative duties. Dasavidha Sanskar, 10 kinds of reformatory methods, but he did not undergo. Such duties enjoy that a candidate willing to study the Vedas must approach a bona fide spiritual master. If anyone wants to become a Brahmana, it is not that the Brahmana's son would automatically become Brahmana. No. Anyone could become Brahmana. Just like Javal Upanishad, Satyakam Javal. This Satyakam was the son of a prostitute. He was not a Brahmin son. So he wanted to become Brahmin. He went to Gautam Muni. Sir, please initiate me. I want to become Brahmin. Sudras are not initiated. And formally, Sudras are not. Therefore, Gautam Muni inquired that what you are. Because I do not initiate who is not born of a Brahmin father. So he said, I do not know. So go to your mother, ask whose son you are. The mother said, I do not. So he came and he said that, sir, my mother does not know whose son I am. So Gautam Muni accepted him as a disciple because he was truthful. He saw that he has got the Brahminical qualification, truthful. Everyone is not willing that to admit that he is the son of a prostitute. No. But he admitted, yes, my mother does not know by whom I was begotten. So this is qualification. So in the Kali Yuga, especially, there is no Vedic system of reformatory processes. It is a Pancharatriki Vivek. That anyone has got a little qualification for becoming Brahmin, he is accepted by the spiritual master who is trained up, is initiated just to make him a complete Brahmin. So, the sacred thread is the sign of those who are competent to study the Vedas from Acharya or the bona fide spiritual master. The bona fide spiritual master is called Acharya. for the Acharya can become a bona fide spiritual master. Acharya means who knows the purport of the Shastra and he behaves himself according to the Shastric regulative principles and teaches his disciple in that way. He is called Acharya. Acharya means whose behavior, whose activities should be followed. That is called Acharya. Generally, man is born as ordinary being, and by the purificatory process, he is born for the second time. That is called bija. Even a man is born, he is not accepted as human being, because unless the purificatory process is there, he cannot be accepted as human being. Therefore, unless in any society the varnashram dharma is not there, they are not human beings. They are called animals or mlechas, javanas. Civilized society means he must know, he must undergo all the regulate principles. But at the present moment, in the Bhagavad it is said, all Samaskrita without any reformatory. All these posts, government posts, are occupied by person, all Samaskrita, Kriyahina, Mlecha, Rajanuru. So what will be their business? They do not know. What is the responsibility of government? They do not know. Therefore, the whole world is in chaos. They are neither themselves perfect gentlemen or perfect Brahman or Kshatriya. They are also like animals, Shudras. How they can rule over nicely? But formally, that was not. The Brahmana and the Kshatriya especially, they must undergo the reformatory method. Again, so generally a man is born as an ordinary being, and by the purificatory processes he is born for the second time. This is called bija. Second time, by the spiritual master. When he sees a new light and seeks direction for spiritual progress, he approaches a spiritual master to instruct him in the Veda. This is our process. In the beginning, we do not ask anybody to become initiated or a Brahmin. No. He simply invites the person to join the chant. This is our process. We should strictly follow it. In the beginning, we should not ask that you have to do this, you have to do this. You cannot do that. That is not possible. But everyone should be giving chant. Because in the Kali Yuga, there is no reformatory system. Everyone is born Shudra and less than that, Chandala. So, they should not be neglected also. Not that because all people are fallen, they are less than Shudras and Chandalas, so neglect them. Let me chant Hare Krishna. No. This is not. The duty of Vaishnava is to reclaim this fallen soul. It's like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Man hi pasritya jipishu papajona. Find out this one. Man hi pasritya jipishu papajona. Sriyavasya satha shuddhya sti vijanti parangati. Krishna says, anyone who comes under my shelter, never mind, he is the lowest of the lowest, low born. The Sriyavasya, formerly in the women and the mercantile community and Shudras, they are also considered as Papajuni. Papajuni means whose brain is not very developed. That is Papajuni. Blunt hearing. What is that?
Mani parata vyapashritya jepishu papayonaya Triyo Vaishyas Tatapi Tata Shudras Tepi Yanti Paramgatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination.
So the supreme destination, back to Godhead, back to home, is for everyone. It is not that God means for everyone. God does not say, only the Brahmin class of men, please come here. Others are here. No. He is inviting everyone. Even the lowest of the lowest, low-born, Papajana, woman, Sudra, or Vaishyas, everyone. Now, Krishna says that everyone has got the potency of coming to me, go back to home, back to God. That is admitted by Krishna. Now, we will make them qualify to go back to home, back to God. That is Vaishnava. Those who are actually very sincere servants of Krishna. It is their duty. Krishna says that everyone is competent to come to me if he is following the rules and regulations. Vyapasritya. What is the meaning of Vyapasritya?
Particularly taking shelter.
Yeah, particularly. One should be willing to go back to home, back to Godhead and take shelter, particularly. Man is representative. Such person can be elevated. So, it is not that, but unfortunately, in India, although Bhagavad Gita is there, they neglect it. The so-called Brahmins, so-called Goswami, so-called, they neglect this process. Just like in India, the Mohammedans who claim to be partisan, Pakistan and Hindustan. There are a number of Mohammedans, they protested that India is going to be independent, but we do not wish to participate with the Hindus. We must be separate. Why? Because they have got a bad experience that the Hindus did not treat them very well. Did not, even Shudra. In South India, it was the process, so bad process. If Shudra is passing on the street, he has to cry, I am a Shudra passing on the street, please close your door. The Brahmins would close the door so that they may not even see a Shudra, then everything will spoil. They have food grains and everything. They will close. Now the result is that South India, the communists means the so-called low-class people, Sudras and Chandalas, they are now in majority. They have formed the government. They are on principle, as soon as some Brahmin comes for government service, he will be picked. So the Brahmins are now hiding themselves. That is Brahmin, because he cannot get any job. This is the position. So this negligence, this is not really culture. Because they neglected these Mohammedans who grown in India, they were not imported from Afghanistan or Turkey or any Mohammedan country. They were Indians. But they were not given any facility for spiritual culture. The Brahmins monopolized it. Although they would not do anything, they would all degraded form. But still, they will keep these Sudras and the Chandalas downtrodden and ill-treated. So therefore, when Aurangzeb passed a law, jizya tax means all the non-Mohammedans would pay a tax. So these low-class people were so neglected, they thought it is natural that why should we pay this tax? we are not very much well treated by the Hindus. So what is the use of remaining Hindu and pay the tax? So the wholesale, this neglected class of men became Mohammedan. This is the history. Otherwise this Mohammedan did not come from the Mohammedan country. So in this way, a community was formed, Mohammedan community, gradually, and this British government took advantage of this ill feeling between Hindus and Mohammedans. Anyway, this is the policy of the politicians. Because they are not giving us, our point is that Krishna says everyone should be given chance how to come back to home, how to approach Krishna. So whose duty it is? It is the duty of Krishna's servant. It's like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says, my Lord, I do not wish to go back to home, back to Godhead alone. I want to take all of them who are godless or not devoted. I want to take. Unless I educate them how to go back to home, back to I alone am not prepared to. This is Prahlad. This is Vaishnava. Paradukha dukhi, ipam mudhijya. Vaishnava means he for himself he has no problem. But he is very, very morose by seeing others in distress condition without Krishna consciousness. This is Vaishnava. A Vaishnava has no problem. He can sit down anywhere and chant Hare Krishna. Everything will be supplied to him. Krishna says, Yoga Kimam Mahama. There is no problem. But it is Vaishnava's business to execute the will of Krishna. As Krishna says, Mani Partha Vipasitya Jepishu Papaju Kriya Vaishnava Tatha Sudra Devi Jana. If everyone has got the potency to go back to home, back to Godhead, it is the duty of the Vaishnava to educate the whole world how to go back to home, back to home. This is Krishna consciousness.